Hey guys, how are you? Andy, super founder, CEO, YGK Credit Solutions, consumer credit expert. Today I want to speak to you guys about two attorneys in the industry that are representing creditors and that are issuing judgments. So if you owe a credit card company a debt, anything over $1,000, most creditors are now bypassing the option of sending the debt to a collection agency for them to collect the debt on their behalf. Instead, they're sending it straight to a law firm to file judgment against you. File a judgment, get a default judgment, and then it turns into a bank levy, a wage garnishment, or a levy against the property. So there's two attorneys that every consumer needs to be very, very, very careful with when negotiating a debt with them. Now, there's a lot of attorneys in the space that are collecting for a lot of creditors, but these two particular attorneys that I'm speaking about has been caught for doing a lot of unethical business. And when I say unethical, let's hypothetically say you had a debt and you settled the debt. The debt went to the law firm, these two law firms, one or the other. It went to the law firm. It was settled. You agreed upon the settlement, and the law firm is supposed to send you a stipulation to sign before you release payment for the agreement stating that, all right, client ABC agrees to settle the debt with this law firm. Once the payment is paid and the check clears, the debt will be satisfied and reported as a settled, paid in full debt on your credit report. What these two companies are doing is that they're not sending the stipulation to the client, but they're processing the client payments, and then a month later, they're coming after the client again for the balance of the debt that was supposed to be forgiven in the settlement. And they're stating that the representative that they spoke to did not mark this debt as a settled debt. They marked it as a partial payment. So now what happens, now the client is stuck now because they don't have an attorney. They self-represented themselves, which I say a lot. I speak on this a lot, that if you don't know what you're doing when it comes to judgments, do not self-represent yourself. You can get yourself in a bigger situation than what you're already in. All right? I mean, YGK, we specialize in judgments. We handle judgments all day for our clients. However, you can get yourself in a bigger mess than you're in right now. So the two companies I'm talking about is Rubin and Rothman. The law firm of Rubin and Rothman, which is also part of their business, is debt collection, and Celeb and Stiliano. Those two companies are very, very, they're just not doing good business when it comes to the consumers. And we've caught them on numerous occasions doing that to clients, where we had to step in and resolve it for the client, because if that wasn't done, the client would have had to pay the balance of the settlement. Right? So what they're doing, they're doing settlements. And if you ever speak to these two law firms, the people that work there, these two law firms hire the most uneducated, unprofessional customer service. You speak to like the worst of the worst, like the bottom of the barrel when it comes to customer service. Now what they're doing is they're negotiating debts with the clients. They're negotiating the debt. They're coming up with a settlement, but sending the stipulation of the arrangements to the client to sign before they get the payment. They're telling the client, we have this on recorded lines, recorded phone lines, recorded calls. They're telling the clients it takes about 72 hours for the stipulation, or 72 hours to 5 days for the stipulation to be created. And we have to mail it to you, which is bullshit, because stipulation is already pre-formatted a document. All you got to do is fill in the client's name, the creditor's name, the agreement of the settlement. That's it. Send it off to sign. The client signs one, keeps a copy for themselves. They return it to the lawyer, the law firm, and the law firm files it in court. These two firms are not doing that. And what they're doing is they're settling the debt, having the client pay the settlement, but not marking the file as a settled file. And 2 months later, now they're coming after the client, filing another default judgment in court, another judgment in court, and now the client is being sued again. Rubin, Rothman, Celeb and Stiliano. Be very careful when you're working with these two law firms. And if you don't know what you're doing, hire a professional, hire a law firm, or call Y2K. But lawyers in the space of debt collection will take you to the dry cleaners and back if you don't know what you're doing. Outside of these two attorneys that I'm speaking about, every lawyer that's involved in debt collection, they know consumers don't know the law. They know that. This is why we tell clients, don't self-represent yourself when it comes to these cases if you don't know what you're doing. If you have any questions, comments, drop it downstairs and I'll try to answer it for you guys. Talk to you soon. Have a good day.